Not worried about him at all.
All right, we'll see what that looks like. John, is this the point? Have we reached the point in the offseason on Makai Lemon's hamstring absence where it becomes a week one concern rather than just kind of a camp storyline?
Yeah, I think today when we get down there is big. I think if he's not out there today, I mean that there's a slight chance they could hold him out today and get him back for New England, but I doubt it. I would think they'd want to again knock the rust off here and then get him in as much as possible. There's going to be a ramp up period as well, even there. But if he misses another week, and remember, if he misses Wednesday's practice in Foxborough, he's not coming back on Thursday. And if he misses practice, he's not playing in the preseason game. So that wipes out another week. If he's not back this week, yeah, I don't think there's a good chance that he's going to be a big part of things in week one. I think this is the week. And I think this is the day, to be honest, to get him back out there.
I think you're right. And I think it's going to be a little concerning. I mean, if he's not out there, because then you're going to be looking like, all right, I get it. We have optimism about the future, but when it comes to being a Super Bowl contender in the year 2026, 2027, right now, do they have the horses in the stable to be able to go and compete for a Super Bowl with the group they have right now? I think those questions are going to come quickly thereafter, John, if he can't get out there this week.
Yeah, I'm not really panicking over him not being relevant in week one. I mean, again, that's the immediate gratification aspect. As long as he's in the mix by, I would say, mid-season, I'd still be okay with it. I'm not saying it's optimal, but it's not the end of the world is what I'm trying to say. If you're at mid-season and he's not one of the three top receivers on this team, that's bad. That's bad because the preseason kind of exposed that the hype the other guys were getting wasn't quite real. So as I said, right now you have a huge drop-off between DeVonta and Dontavian. You have a huge drop-off between Dontavian and Makai, and you have a huge drop-off from Makai, who hasn't even played, to everybody else. Like, they need him out there. And they're going to struggle if he's not out there. And they might struggle when he is out there. But I don't care who your favorite is. Pick your favorite. Most people are going to say Darius Cooper. Darius Cooper, Elijah Moore, Johnny Wilson, Ezu Kanma. Pick your favorite. Any of them. They're not having great success against NFL level corners on a consistent basis. They're not Jahan Dotson. And nobody likes Jahan Dotson here.
Oh, Jahan Dotson was a good player. He never got the ball.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you're not getting the ball.
But people don't look at him that way because they didn't get him the ball. But when he had opportunities, he made catches. He made some great catches, big catches. He's got significant talent, at least. I coming out of that game, that was, most of it I can write off. The receiving hype is not justified. Like, there were a lot of people saying, well, maybe they're better at receiver. They're not better at receiver. And that's only going to amp up this week because AJ's going to be there.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think it's going to be something to keep an eye on. They have had a very successful run, John, with good receivers, and now you're kind of relying on lesser receivers and improving the passing game. Sean Mannion, buckle up, my friend. You got a big task in front of you. All right, for him this year to improve this Eagles offense.
Scheme it up.
Well, speaking of them, what do you want to see this week from them versus New England in joint practice? I know you're not going to see it, but what do you want to hear about at least from them doing? I do think it's their toughest test or their best test before the season starts to actually get some meaningful reps in through camp.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. You don't have to win the practice. You got to get better, which I know is a nebulous standard. Judge who wins the practice. I remember, I always talk about the joint practice in Miami because it was 1,000 degrees down there, and the Dolphins have their brand new facility, and they're stretching in the glorious air conditioning, and then they roll out to the field like stormtroopers and literally destroy the Eagles in a practice. And by the way, they blew them out in the preseason game as well. Guess what? Eagles were a good team. They were an average team. So you don't have to win the practice, but you do have to get valuable reps, and they're going to have growing pains on offense. That's pretty clear. So that's the biggest part of it. That remains. That's going to be a season-long story. Pick a fucking lane when it comes to calling the plays from the field and the booth, which I think I would be shocked if it's not from the field, but we'll see. But pick a lane either way. Start getting this thing going in the right direction. And start practicing some shit. That's not going to happen.
Is that Nick? Is that Nick who's stopping them from doing that?
Yes.
Boy, Nick is
really they will practice stuff in joint practice because you can't video that, or for the most part. I mean, I don't. They have a new facility there, so I haven't been there. I don't know if they have a setup like the practice, the Lincoln Financial Field practice here. Well, fans can tape that whole thing. I mean, they're farther away. We're not allowed to, but they can tape the whole thing. Like everybody's.
That's just about flash. That practice to me is just about flash. They put a little show on for the fans.
Well, exactly. But these are valuable sessions, and I'm saying they will try stuff. They will run stuff they're going to run. It'll be more relevant than the preseason when they vanilla everything up. But
you got to trust the Patriots, I guess, and Mike Vrabel, who's seemingly a pretty untrustworthy guy.
Yeah. Well. So I don't know, but I'm in the category of, Jesse Minter it up, man. Hey, you want to be good at something, practice it. I don't care. But that's my belief of modern coaches there. Well, I know a lot of old school coaches. I'm not going to say ego's not involved, because it's always involved. If you get to that level in life and you're a head coach in the NFL, you probably got a pretty big ego. And that's understandable. But I mean, the newer, how do I describe it? I'm trying to describe it through the newer brand of offensive coaches, specifically offensive. They think, I think a lot of them, I'm not going to say all of them, I think a lot of them think they're more important than the players. I get that feeling, and they're not.
You think that's the case in Philly right now?
Well, I said it like I said it. I think the vast majority of modern offensive coaches think, I always use the college basketball thing. And college basketball is always about Bobby Knight and Dean Smith. It's always about the coaches. Pro basketball was about the players. The NFL offensively is starting to strike me as college basketball, where it's about the play color, it's about the scheme, and I think these guys have bought into the hype. And I'm not. I do not believe that is the case.
Interesting. You think even the players have fallen for it? It's not about their talent; it's about everything around them.
No, I don't think the players have. I don't think the players. I think the players. No, I mean they're the ones out there. They know. But yeah, I mean, and that's just not. I'm not picking on the Eagles. That's a league-wide problem.
Yeah, it's league-wide, right? Yeah. But to your point, the Eagles have gotten in line. The Eagles have joined the rodeo.
Yeah, and I don't get that sense from the defensive guys. And I think I have more respect for the defensive guys, not only because all the rules are against them, and they got to keep figuring out ways to stop these guys, no matter how much is stacked up against, and they do it. Number one, and right now they've come up with these havoc. I call them havoc-based defenses and that was a great play. The Tanner McKee sack, perfect example of it. Confuse the quarterback. You line up. You rotate post snap. The blitz is coming from the opposite side. The quarterback thinks from where you lined up, and boom, you got a free rusher, and the quarterback just crumbles under. Those guys are busy creating new ways, and these guys are just, well, Sean does it well. Let's copy Sean. Or Kyle does it well. Let's copy Kyle.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an interesting year this year, John. We'll see what ends up happening. We got a super chat here from Sauce It Up. What's up, Sauce It Up? About 10 minutes left to go in the show. We're going to get J-Mac out of here a couple of minutes early. John, what time are they on the field today? Like noon, right?
12:20. Sean's talking at noon.
Okay, so Sean will talk at noon. All right, good stuff. Sauce It Up says this. Do you think Howie makes a move